Hi guys, Al Smith here. Welcome to lesson number 7 in the beginner bridge course. This is the last lesson in this particular course. And tonight we're going to talk about trying to decide whether to play a no trump or a minor suit contract. For the past couple of weeks, we've been focusing on the major suits and how to find a fit, what level of the contract we should play at, and so forth. Also tonight, we're going to look at discarding a loser on a winner as another declare play technique. Okay. First of all, we're going to review a number of bidding sequences tonight. But in the first one, we're going to look at what to do, what the opener should do in their second bid if the responder bids no trump after the partner opens. So let's first of all look at what it means if the responder bids one no trump after the opener bids one club. In this case, we all know that it will deny 4 diamonds, 4 hearts, and 4 spades, and that there is no possibility of a 6-2, a 5-3, or 4-4 major suit fit. Okay, and because it denies having 4 in these 3 suits, the shape must be 4 clubs, 3-3-3. Okay. Now, if it's your partner opened 1 diamond, if the opener bid 1 diamond and the responder bids 1 no trump, it denies having 4 hearts or 4 spades. Again, we can't have a 6-card fit. Okay, if the opener bid 1 heart and it bids 1 no trump, it denies having both 3 hearts and 4 spades, because if the responder had 4 spades, they would have bid 1 spade instead of 1 no trump. And if it's 1 no trump, if the opener bid 1 spade and the responder bids 1 no trump, now they're denying having a fit in spades. That's 3 spades, 3 plus spades. Or they're also denying having 5 plus clubs, diamonds, or hearts, and 10 plus high card points. So you can see that this pretty well guarantees a fairly balanced hand. Now, an answer of 1 no trump by the responder says I've got 6 to 9 high card points and 2 plus cards in each suit. 2 no trump incrementally shows 10 to 12 high card points, and the same characteristics as it relates to bidding 1 no trump as shown above, and 2 plus cards in each suit. And 3 no trump says, hey, I don't see a possible fit anywhere. I've got 13 plus points. Let's play the contract in 3 no trump. All right, so let's take a look at this from a different graphical perspective, and hopefully this will help you determine make it a little bit easier for you to determine what level the contract should be at. All right, if the opener bids 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart, or 1 spade, and the responder bids 1 no trump, the responder is indicating he has 6 to 9 high card points. Pretty straightforward, and denies all, and shows the shapes that we discussed on the previous slides. If he bids 2 no trump, it says 10 to 12. Now note, that's an average of 11. When your partner is showing a range of points, assume the average until you can get further clarification from that bidder as to whether they can refine that range for you or not. Okay, if they've got 13 plus, the bid is going to be 3 no trump. All right, so we've got 1 no trump, 2 no trump, 3 no trump based upon the number of points they've got. Pretty straightforward. All right, now what happens if the responder bids 1 no trump? Well, the opener has another bid, the second bid. So the opener is going to pass with less than or equal to 15 high card points. Okay, now let's look at this. 15 plus 9 is 24. 24 is less than 25, which eliminates the possibility of game. So with less than or equal to 24 points, the respondent total points, the opener is going to pass. Now, with 16 to 18, that's an average of 17, Okay, if you've got 16 plus 6, that's 22. 18 plus 9 is 27. Okay, so you can see if you've got an average, figures an average of 17 here, from 16 to 18, the total expected total number of points will is somewhere between 22 and 27. So there's a game that's possible. All right, so the opener with 16 to 18 high card points is going to bid to no trump. All right, now then it goes back to the responder for its second bid. And if the responder has a minimum 6 to 7, figure that's 6.5 points, add that to 17, that's 23.5. Okay, 23.5 points is not greater than or equal to 25. Okay, with 8 to 9, figure it's 8.5, that's 25.5 points. You figure the two averages. So you go to 3 no trump. So this whole bidding sequence here in determining what level of contract you want to be at is based upon whether you expect to have greater than or equal to 25 points. Okay, now, obviously, if the opener has 19 plus high card points, they're just going to go ahead and bid 3 no trump. Okay, now this all assumes that the opener has a somewhat balanced or semi-balanced hand. Okay, now the same is true if the opener bids 2 no trump or the responder bids 2 no trump, showing 10 to 12. Okay, with less than or equal to 13, they're going to pass. Notice that we're just incrementing the number of points here for this pass is slightly higher than this one because the number of points that we're expecting is higher. So same logic, pass or go to 3 no trump. And finally, we've got the situation here where the opener is going to pull or bid again after 1 no trump and show a suit. Okay, and it's generally going to do this when they have unbalanced hand and they dislike no trump. Okay, if the opener has a single turn void, it's probably not very good for you to be in the no trump contract. So they're going to try to bid another suit or rebid their original suit. All right, let's look at a couple of examples here. All right, in this first example, the opener bids 1 heart and the responder bids 1 spade. See, this is our responder hand here. We've got 6 high card points. We've got 4 spades. So at 1 heart, we don't have a fit in hearts. So we bid 1 spade. And now the opener bids 2 hearts. From last week, we should remember that that shows 6 plus hearts. Okay, so we've got six dummy points because we do have, if our partner has shown 6 hearts, we've got 2, that's 8. But because that's our short suit, we don't get any distribution points. We've got 6 high card points. All right, so what's the information? What information do we have at our disposal? Well, we know that the opener has a maximum of 15 points because if they'd had 6 hearts and 16 to 18, they would have bid 3 hearts. So we take 6 plus the maximum they can have, 15, and that equals 21. That's not greater than equal to 25. So what are we going to do? We're going to pass. Pretty straightforward. We know that we've got 8 hearts. That's going to be the trump suit. We know that we've got less than 25 points. So we're going to pass and try to buy this contract for the minimum, at the minimum level possible. No point in bidding 3 when you know there's no possibility of gain and nobody's pushing you. All right, let's look at the second example here. A little bit different. We've got 1 heart, 1 no trump is being bid by the responder saying they've got 6 to 9 high card points. Okay, and then the opener bids 3 hearts. Well, what does the 3 hearts mean? It says, hey, the opener is saying, I've got 6 plus hearts and 16 to 18 points, an average of 17. We go, hey, you've got 6, I've got 2. That's an 8 card bid. Now let's count our points. We can actually count distribution. We've got 3, 6, 9 high card points. We might be able to squeak 1 out for the singleton and spades, but with only having 2 cards in the suit, we really don't like to count that for distribution there. So, be a little bit conservative. We can be aggressive. 9 or 10 really doesn't make much difference. But what information we've got? Our partner has opened said they've got 16 to 18. We're going to figure that's an average of 17. That's a 9 plus 17. We can see the 9, right? 3, 6, 9. 9 plus 17 is 26. We've got an 8-card suit. What are we going to bid? We're going to bid 4 hearts. Okay, we're going to trust our partner. They told us the truth. They've got 6 plus hearts, so we've got 8 plus. We've got a golden fit. We've got a nice hand. We're going to 4 hearts. All right, let's look at another example here. Okay, in this one, our partner opens 1 heart. We bid 1 spade. Boy, we've got some nice spades there, don't we? And then our partner goes 2 hearts, showing that they've got 6 plus hearts. All right, now here's the let's count our points here to begin with. We've got 9 high card points. Now, I got a little bit ahead of myself here. We've got 3 that we're going to count for this singleton. Okay, because we're going to count distribution because we know our partner has 6. We've got 2, that's 8. Now you go, well, do we really want hearts to be trump, or do we want spades to be trump? Well, how many hearts do we know we have? Well, our partner told us they have 6, and we've got 2, that's 8. Okay, now we can count the number of spades in our hands. We have 6. How many does the opener have? Well, they could have 0, they could have 1, they could have 2, they could have 3. We don't know. But what we do know is for a fact that the minimum we could have is 6 spades between us because they could have a void. So we know we've got 8 hearts between us versus knowing that we've got a minimum of 6 spades between us. So because we know we've got 8 versus knowing there's 8 plus, 6 plus, we're going to choose hearts as the trump suit. Okay, so we have made that mental determination that hearts is going to be trump because we've got a 6-2 fit. Okay, now we can just take these 12 distribution points, we add them to what is expected to be the average of the opener of around 13, and that says, hey, we've got 25. That's good enough. Okay, now we could actually, if we want to be a little more aggressive, we could go to 4 hearts or we could bid 3 hearts. But if our partner, if we bid 3 hearts, if our partner has 14 or 15, they're going to go to 4 hearts. So it's pretty straightforward. The thing to really note on example number 3 is that we're choosing hearts as trump because we know we have 8 of them between us, rather than we only know from a factual standpoint that we have 6 plus between us. All right, let's look at example number 4. A partner opens a diamond this time. It only promises 3 plus diamonds. We bid a spade. Yep, we've got 4 of them. We bid them up the line, and our partner bids 1 no trump. The opener bids 1 no trump, saying they have 12 to 14 high card points. Okay, now what? Well, if our partner, we've got 8 high card points, 3, 6, 7, 8. Our partner has limited their hand to 14. That's 8 plus 14 is 22. Again, not equal to 25, so we're going to pass. If you kind of reduce it to these basic principles, do we have a fit? Do we have 25 plus points? It makes the game a lot easier. Okay, and example number 5, pretty much the same situation, except we've got a few more points. Here we've got 11 high card points. Okay, so what we're going to do now, after our partner bids 1 no trump indicating 12 to 14, we look at it, we've got 11 plus 12 is equal to 23, 11 plus 14 is equal to 25. We've got some nice attributes here. So what we want to do is we want to invite our partner to go to game. So we're going to bid 2 no trump. In this case, if our partner has 14 points up at the max, a really nice 13, what they're going to do is bid 3 no trump and take the contractor game. Okay, and hand number 6. Okay, it's pretty much, it's the same auction again, but we've got more points. Here we've got 13 high card points. Our partner, by bidding one no trump, is denied having 4 spades. Okay, we know that 13 plus 12, that would be the minimum high card points that our partner is going to have, given this bidding sequence, that we've got 25 plus points. What we're going to do is just immediately bid 3 no trump. Okay, again, you can see it all centers around whether we've got 25 plus points or not. All right, let's look at the second bidding sequence that we want to look at this evening. And this is where we found a minor suit bid. Okay, and this occurs when we open a club or a diamond, and the responder bids 2 of that minor. Okay, now they can show the fit by bidding 1 club, 2 clubs, which shows 6 to 9 points, but shows 5 plus clubs. Okay, it also denies having 4 hearts or 4 spades. So there's no major suit fit possible. Okay, so 1 club, 2 clubs says 6 to 9 points. I've got 5 plus clubs. So because the opener opened a club, he's only promising 3. So we know we've got a golden fit. So we get a count distribution. Now, if the responder has 10 to 12 distribution points, they're going to do a jump raise of the minor. So in these two bidding sequences, the responder is showing a bid in the opener's bid minor. Okay, now one of the things that immediately comes into play is, and we've talked about this before, is that even though we know we have a fit in a minor suit, we've got 8 plus cards in that minor suit, do we want to play that contract in the minor suit, or do we want to play it in no trump? Why? Well, to make a contract in the minor suit, we need to take 11 tricks, and that's generally going to require us to have 27 plus points. Okay, now, just as kind of a reminder, if we're in 3 no trump, how many tricks do we need to take? 9. How many points do we need to have? 25 or more. Okay, so you can see that just from the number of tricks, it's going to be a lot easier to make no trump than it is to make 5 clubs or 5 diamonds. Now, one of the things that the opener is going to take into consideration is if the opener has unbalanced hand. Okay, if the opener has unbalanced hand, that's with a singleton or a void, and the responder has raised the minor suit, the opener knows that more than 95% of the time they're going to want to be in a minor suit contract. That's because they've got a fit in the minor suit and they have shortness in a suit, so they're going to have trouble controlling all 4 suits. All right, now the opener, if they've got now the responder, actually, if they've got an unbalanced hand also and has 5 plus and more points, 13 to 14, they can actually go 1 club, 4 clubs. Okay, so they're in essence making the decision out of the gate that they have no interest in no trump because they have an unbalanced hand and a good fit within the minor. And obviously, if they're a little bit stronger, they can go straight to 5 clubs. Now, otherwise, unless you have either the responder or the opener has unbalanced hand, you're going to want to investigate no trump. Okay, and the reason again you're going to want to investigate no trump is because 9 tricks are a lot easier to take than 11. Now, let's assume the bidding has been 1 club, 2 clubs. Okay, so the opener said, I've got 3 plus clubs and 13 plus starting points or length points. And the responder has said, hey, I've got 5 plus clubs and 6 to 9 distribution points. All right, so in order for the opener to want to investigate game and no trump, opposite 6 to 9 points, they're going to have a fairly big hand. They're going to need to have 16 to 18 high card points. That's again an average of 17. So if we look at this from the standpoint of the minimum and the maximum, what the responder is promising, we've got 16 plus 6 equals 22 and 18 plus 9 is equal to 27. So between the two hands, we've got somewhere between 22 and 27 points. So about half the time, we're going to want to sign off into no trump because the opener has indicated we have 16, 18 points, and half the time we're going to want to bid game. Well, how do we make that decision? Well, we're back to the responder for his second bid. Well, if the responder's got a minimum 6 to 7 high card points, they're going to pass. What's 7 plus 17? 24, not 25. Okay, so if they've got 8 to 9, they're going to go ahead and bid 3 no trump, bidding game. So you can see 8 plus 17 is 25. Okay, so all centers around that magic number of 25 again. Okay, so now, if the opener has 19 plus points and 19 plus high card points and unbid blockers. Okay, and I didn't mention that here. And to bid the 2 no trump, they need to have unbid blockers in the 3 unbid suits. So 1 club, 2 clubs, bidding 2 no trump, they need to have a blocker or a stopper, whatever you want to call it, in diamonds, hearts, and spades. Okay, and typically, that's an ace or a king, or maybe a king queen or a queen XX. So, you want to have a pretty good chance of being able to take a trick in that suit so the opponents can't run the suit. Now, obviously, if you've got 19 plus in blockers in the 3 unbid suits, 19 plus 6 is 25, you want to be in game. All right. Now, most of the time, the opener's not going to have a blocker in all 3 suits. Okay, so how do they communicate back and forth as to what they have and what they don't have? So let's look at that. All right, the bidding has been 1 club, 2 clubs. Now, if the opener has a blocker in diamonds, but not in hearts or potentially spades, not all 3 of the suits, what they're going to do is bid the blocker up the line. Okay. By bidding 2 diamonds, it says, hey, I've got a stopper or a blocker in diamonds, and I've got 16 plus points because, again, this is a limitation of 6, and as the lower point range of the 6 to 9. Okay, so now, if the responder does not have a heart or a spade blocker, neither one of these suits, what he's going to do is he's going to bid 3, 4, or 5 clubs. He's going to bring it back to the minor suit. And the level he's going to bid at is based upon the number of points that he or she has. Okay, now the key here is opener saying, I've got a diamond blocker. The responder saying, I don't have either of the heart or the spade blocker. Now let's look at the situation where the responder has a blocker in one of those 2 suits. Let's assume it's hearts. So the opener says, I've got a blocker in diamonds. The responder says, hey, I've got a blocker in hearts, but not in spades. Let's look at the next. Okay, now, with no blocker in spades, it comes back to the opener. If the opener doesn't have a blocker in spades, they're going to bring it back to the minor suit. Okay, if it has a blocker in spades, it's going to bid 2 no trump with 16 to 18. And I'm going to put this up, and it's going to bid 3 no trump with the spade blocker and 19 plus. Okay, now if you bid 2 no trump, the responder then, we've got that same logic before. It says with a minimum pass, with a maximum in the range 8 to 9, bid 3 no trump. All right, so we've seen this situation here. 2 diamonds, no blocker, bid 3. We're just going to say 3 clubs. If you got a heart blocker, bid the hearts. If you have no heart blocker, and you bid, but a spade blocker, you bid 2 spades. Okay, so now the same type of structure of okay. So now if the opener does not have a diamond blocker, I should have added that to this chart, but has a heart blocker, he would bid 2 hearts. Okay, showing the heart blocker and denying the diamond blocker. I'll add that to this chart so the final version has that on there. The same is true if he's got a blocker in spades. He can bypass the diamonds, he can bypass the spades, the hearts, and say, I've got a blocker in spades. Okay, so they communicate back and forth between each other to determine whether they've got blockers in all the suits. And if they do, they can find and get to a contract in no trouble. All right, let's look at some examples of this. Okay, in this particular example, opener bids 1 club. Got 4, 8, 11, 13 high card points. He's got 4 clubs, so yep, it's going to be 1 club. Okay, now the responder here has got 6 clubs and 4 high card points. Okay, now he has 7 distribution points because actually he has more because he actually gets to count 5 for this void. So he actually has 9 distribution points. Okay, and so he bids 2 clubs, 6 to 9. He's going to bid 2 clubs. All right. Now, the opener, because the opener knows they've only got 13 points, that the limit on the 2 club bid is 9, is 22. So 22 is not greater than 25. So it's going to pass. It's in essence saying, hey, I'm not interested in no trump. We don't have enough points to investigate the game in the minor, so I'm going to pass. Now in this one here, it's the same type of situation. He opens a club, but it's very different. Okay, now the opener is opening 1 club. He's got 4, 8, 10, 12, 15 high card points, 16 length points. All right, so he's got 16 length points, but also note that he has an unbalanced hand. He's actually planning on bidding a reverse. I know we haven't talked about that. That's an advanced technique, subject for another day, another lesson. Okay, now the responder in this case has 7, 8, gets 3 for the void, got 11 distribution points, is going to bid 3 clubs. Okay, this is a limit raise. Okay, so he said, I've got 10 to 11 points and 5 plus clubs. All right, now it comes back to the opener, and the opener goes, well, I've got the 4, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, plus 10 to 11 gives me 26 to 27. I've got some extra little shape attributes here. I really like my head. I'm going to bid 5 clubs. So I put these 2 examples up here is how to pursue the contract in the minor when you know that you don't want to be in no trump. In both of these hands, you can see they have unbalanced characteristics. There's a void in the responder's hand in the first one. Even if the opener had bid no trump, he's going to come back and bid clubs again because he doesn't like no trump. It's not nice to be in no trump when you have singletons or voids. Okay, let's look at the example here. 3 and 4 are going to be with reasonably balanced hands, okay, but with a fit. Okay, so our partner opens club, and again, we've got 4, 8, we've got 9 distribution points. We've got 5 clubs, so we know we've got a fit because our partner promised us 3, so we've got 9 distribution points. Okay, now the opener goes, well, I've got 4, 8, 11, 13. My partner is limited his hand to 9 distribution points. So let's see, we've got 4, 8, 10, 13. Okay, we've got 13, 4, 8, 11, 13. Now that should be 13 distribution points instead of 16 to 18. So that, let's assume that he was a little bit stronger. We'll add something back into there in a minute. Kenny bids 2 diamonds, showing a blocker in diamonds. See, we've got the ace right here. And now the responder goes, well, I've got a heart blocker, and bids hearts. So you can say, all right, now it comes back to the opener and says, hey, I've got a spade blocker, so we're safe to play this in no trump. He bids 2 no trump. Okay. And the responder says, hey, I've got 8 plus 17s, figuring there's an average of that. I got to put a couple more points in over here. Okay. Says, I'm going to go to bid 3 no trump. Okay, so you can see how they go back and forth saying, hey, we've got a club fit, I've got a diamond blocker, I've got a heart blocker. The no trump says, hey, I've got the spades covered. Then based upon the number of points, they say, hey, if we've got 25 or more, we're going to gain. Otherwise, we're going to pass the 2 no trump. Okay, with hand number 4, okay, it's pretty much the same. It opens 1 club. Now, in this hand, our partner's responder's a little bit stronger and makes a limit raise to 3 clubs. Now, how are we going to determine whether we will play a no trump or not? Okay, again, we're going to bid our blockers up the line, because we could always come back to the minor suit later on if we determine we don't have a blocker. So the opener bids 3 diamonds, and the responder bids 4 clubs. Well, actually, the responder should bid 3 spades. Responder should bid 3 spades, okay, with the spade blocker, and then that's going to deny a heart blocker. So the opener is then going to bid 4 clubs. So I'll fix that in the final and what I post later on tonight. Okay, so that's how that works in relationship to a minor suit fit. Okay, now the third scenario we're going to discuss tonight is when the opener bids a lower ranking suit at a new suit, a lower ranking new suit at the 2 level. For example, we have 1 heart was the open, 1 spade by the responder, 2 clubs. Well, what does this say? It says that I've got 5 hearts, I've got 4 clubs. The responder said they've got 4 plus spades. What are we missing? We're missing diamonds. There's only 1 unbid suit. Okay, so what we're going to assume is, because all 3 of these suits have been naturally bid, is that we already have a blocker in those suits. Okay, opener has less than or equal to 17 blank points because they didn't do a strong jump shift. If they had 18, instead of bidding 2 clubs, they would have bid 3 clubs. And it generally shows 5 cards in the first bid suit and 4 to 5 cards in the second bid suit. Responder has shown 6 plus lane points and a 4 plus card suit. It's guaranteed having at least 4 spades, but could have 4, 5, 6, or 7. All right. Now, responder's second bid, if they have an unbalanced hand, okay, this is going to be, that's this double question mark here. If they've got an unbalanced hand with 6 to 9 points, is going to try to determine where they have the best 7 card plus card bid and put the contract in that suit at the lowest level. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. The opener bid 1 heart. Okay, now that promises 5 hearts. Okay, if the responder has 2 hearts, that's 7. Okay, now if the responder has 3 clubs, that would be the opener is promising 4 or 5, 3 clubs. If he had 3, that would be, we'll assume he's showing 4, that would be 7. So we have a choice here potentially between a 5-2 fit, which is equal 7 cards in the suit, or a 4-3. Now, the reason I'm pointing that out is that the 5-2 fit is always a better fit compared to a 4-3 fit. All right, it's when the more cards you have in one hand versus the other, the better off you're going to be. So in this particular scenario, if they had 2 hearts and doesn't have six or more spades, he's going to go ahead and bid 2 hearts and sign off in that in 2 hearts. Let's say he's got 4 clubs, okay, and 2 hearts. Okay, there would be 7 hearts between them and 8 clubs between them. So he just passed the 2 clubs with a minimal hand. Okay, with 10 plus points, okay, what the opener is going to, what the opener, what the responder is going to do, there's several different things, potential situations here. Okay, if he had a bid in opener's first bid suit and chose not to show it because he had game forcing points, now he's going to show it. So in this situation, we have 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 clubs. We're going to jump to 3 hearts. It says, hey, partner, I actually do have a fit with your heart suit, and we've got game forcing points. You decide whether you want to play in 3 no trump or you want to play in 4 hearts. Okay, if he doesn't have that, the second priority is to show whether he or she had a 6 plus card fit with 10 plus, a 6 card suit with 10 plus points. Okay, because the opener promised 13 plus 10, that's 23 plus. They are in the territory they want to explore game. Okay, so the situation is 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 clubs. With 6 plus spades, he's going to bid 3 spades. That says, hey, partner, I've got 6 plus. If you've got 2, we've got a golden fit. Remember, we showed this in last week in one of those eye charts. But again, we were almost done exploring major suit fits. But this is another one where we have that possibility. And if we have 4 plus cards in the second opener bid suit, we're going to show that fit. So these are the situations where we bid 3 suits of what we're going to want to bid in priority order if we have them. If we don't have any of these 3, what we're going to want to be doing is we're going to want to be exploring no trump if we've got enough points. Okay. With 6 to 7 points, actually with 6 to 7 points, we definitely want to put the suit in. We want to put the contract in our best 7 card fit, because 7 plus 17 is equal to 24. We just don't have enough points per game. Now, here's where one of the real decisions come in. If you don't have a blocker in the unbid suit, okay, you're going to treat it just like you had 6 to 7. You're going to put it in your best 7 card fit because there's a misfit between the 2 hands, and you just don't have enough points to explore game. Okay, so now, but with 10 plus points, and again, if with 10 plus points, you're going to put the contract in the best 7 cards. Now with an unbid suit blocker, okay, the responder second bid is going to be 2 no trump with 8 to 11 points, and they're just going to go ahead and bid game with 12 plus points. Let's look at a couple of examples here. Okay, because we've got all sorts of different shapes of hands that we could have, that the responder could have. Excuse me. All right, in this first example here, opener bid 1 diamonds, promising only 3 diamonds. Then the responder bid 1 spade, promising 4 plus spades. The opener then bid 2 clubs, saying, hey, I probably have 5 diamonds, and 4 clubs. Okay, and now let's take a look at the responder's hand. We've got 5 high card points, 2 length points. So we know we don't have enough points for game. So we want to sign off. But in the process of signing off, because we want to give our partner the opportunity to choose which suit that he would like us to play in. Okay, just like we've talked about before, when we have 2 5-card suits, we're going to bid the higher ranking one first, then we're going to bid the lower ranking one. So in this case, it was 1, we're going to bid 2 hearts, and that tells the opener to pick between hearts and spades. All right, so typically if they have 3-3 in the suits, they're always going to go to spades first because that would be guaranteed 8 versus 7. But let's say you've got 2 spades and they've got 3 hearts. Then let's the 2 spades and 4 hearts. They're probably going to pass. They're going to pass and leave the contract in 2 hearts because now they know they've got an 8-card fit versus a 7-card fit. So you're going to want to make that determination based upon what you believe are the maximum in the suit with the maximum number of cards in the suit between the two hands. All right, let's look at this second example here. Okay, same bidding sequence. In this particular hand, we have 5 spades and 4 clubs. Okay, so we're getting a little bit more balanced. Okay, but we have 5 high card points plus 2 for 7 length points. Okay. And we can look at this again. 7 plus 17, the max is 24. We're going to want to pass. We did have a 4-4 fit in clubs. Okay, so we've decided that even though we've got 2 hearts, 2 diamonds, and the opener probably started with 5 of them. That's 5 plus 2 is 7. 4 and is showing 4 clubs. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 is greater than 7. So we're going to want to be in the club suit. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and pass because we know we don't have enough points to explore game, and we really don't have a no trump type of hand. These 2 weak doubletons doesn't really lend itself to no trump. Now, how many points will we need to really have in order to explore a minor suit game? 27 plus. So we're a long way off having 27. So we're going to play a pass. We're going to play in our 4-4 fit and hope for the best. Let's look at the next hand here. Now here we've got 5 clubs and 5 spades. So in this one, we've got a total misfit between these 2 hands. 1 heart, we bid a spade, our partner bids diamonds. We know they've got 5 hearts, they've got 4 to 5 diamonds. So we know they've only got 3 cards in the other suit, 4, 5, 5. So what we're going to want to do, we've got 11. We're going to want to find our best 7-card bid. All right, what do we know? Well, we know our partner's got at least 5 hearts and 4 diamonds. Well, we've got 7 hearts. We know we have 7 hearts between us. We know that we have at least 5 diamonds between. 7 is bigger than 5. Okay, how many spades do we know we have? Our partner could be void. So we know all we know is that we have at least 5. So our best 7-card bid is hearts. We're going to go ahead and bid 2 hearts. Now, if we're really feeling lucky, this is a dirty Harry hand. Okay, we could go ahead and bid 2 no trump, but I wouldn't advise it. Okay, I would go ahead and bid the 2 hearts and forget about it because the odds are that our opponents, these suits are not going to split well, and we're going to have difficulty with this hand. Let's look at example number 4. Okay, we've got the same auction as before. Now we've got both majors. We've got a heart blocker, and we have a spade blocker. So by bidding the hearts, we indicated a heart blocker. So we can assume that there is a blocker in all 3 of these these suits because they were naturally bid. Okay, so what are we going to do? What we're going to do, because we've got 9, and that straddles the 25. 9 plus 13 is 22. 9 plus 17, which is the max for this sequence, is 26. What we're going to do is bid 2 no trump. And that invites our partner to bid 3 no trump if they have, if their points are on the high end, up in the 15 to 17 point range. Probably 16 to 17, okay? So that's because we know that we have all 4 suits blocked between us. We can now afford to bid no trump and explore no trump when we don't really have a good fit. Okay, now in this hand, it's a little bit different. It's 1 diamond, one spade, 2 clubs. Now, remember, when we were talking about this before, what do we want to do here? Well, we've got 11 high card points plus 2 length points. That's 13. What's 13 plus 13 is 26. We should have enough points per game somewhere. Okay, now, our partner only knows that we promised him 4 spades to begin with. Okay, the way that we tell him that we have 6 spades, 6 plus spades, and game going points is to jump. So we're going to jump to 3 spades. So the 1 diamond, 1 spade, 2 clubs, 3 spades says, hey partner, we've got game going points. I've got 6 plus spades. If you've got 2 spades, put me in 4 spades. If you don't have 2 spades, or your hand's a little bit iffy, go ahead and play the contracted 3 no trump, because we've got enough points per game. All right, example number 6. I think this is the last example. Okay, it's basically the partner opens 1 heart, so they promised us 5. We bid a spade, showing we've got, denying a heart fit, but showing we've got 4 spades. And then the opener bids 2 diamonds. Okay, now this is our hand as the responder. So we know that we've got a 7-card heart fit. We know we've got a 7-card diamond fit. We don't know anything more about spades or clubs because we just don't have any information from from the opener about that. So we know that 7 heart, 5-2 fit in hearts is better than a 4-3 fit in diamonds. Now we do have 14 high card points. Okay, and we have a spade stopper, we have a heart stopper, we have a club stopper. Our partner has bid diamonds, so we're going to assume that he has a diamond stopper. So we've got a stopper in all 4 suits. We've got 14 plus 13. This is an easy hand. We're just going to go ahead and bid 3 no trump. Okay, so to kind of summarize the whole structure of the bidding system, it's first and foremost to find a fit in a major suit, then to determine whether you want to be in a game or in a partial. The second is then to determine if there's determine whether you want to be in a minor and no trump, with the preference being to no trump because it requires only taking 9 tricks to make game. And in the minor suit, it's kind of the last choice. It requires 11 tricks to make the game. Okay, that's enough for the bidding tonight. And that pretty much concludes what I'm going to call the bidding in the non-competitive environment. There's other things like slam bidding and things. I'll mention those things in a second. But let's take one more shot at another technique for declare play technique. Now, this is the sequence of things that we've looked at so far in the course. The first thing, of course, and the most important, is to make your declare plan. How do you make the declare plan? How many tricks do you need to take? How many sure tricks do you have? How many tricks do you need to develop? That's when you start looking at these different techniques. We look at promotion, trick length, finesse, and roughing in the shorthand. Tonight, we're going to look at very briefly discarding a loser. And we'll look at discarding a loser on a winner. There's another technique called discarding a loser on a loser, but we will save that for another day. Okay, let's look at this particular example here. We've got the dummy's hand and the declarer's hand. Okay, and with the contract is 4 spades. So what's the plan? Well, first of all, we need 10 tricks. And how many short tricks do we got? Well, we've got 1, 2, 3 in clubs. We've got 1 heart. That's 4. So we need 6 more. Wow, we got. But look at those spades. We can easily get 6 more tricks of spades just by knocking out the ace. All right, now what's the danger in relationship to this hand? Let's look at it closely. Okay, we're going to lose the ace of spades. That's one trick. Okay, if they lead a heart, we can have a loser in hearts. That's 2 tricks. Then we can lose the ace, king, and diamonds. That's 4 tricks. How many tricks do we need? 10. Well, if they take 4 tricks, we're only going to get 9. So what are we going to do? Well, we're looking at this hand. We go, well, we've got 3 winning clubs. All right, so if we can get in the lead to these clubs, lead it 3 times, we can throw away one of these losers, either a diamond or a spade. If we throw away that loser, we're going to be able to get our 10 tricks. So the first thing we're going to do, they're going, let's assume they lead the ace and king of diamonds. Okay, and lead it, and now then they lead a heart. What are we going to do? We're going to take the ace. Then we're going to go over to the ace of clubs, lead the king of clubs, play the 7, play the queen of clubs, and throw away the 6 of hearts. We're going to throw away a loser. Okay, so we've lost 2 tricks. Now we can afford to draw trumps and lose the ace. Okay, so it's really important about this example. It really illustrates 2 things. One is how to throw away a loser on a winner, but even more important is the sequence that you do things in is critical. If you tried to draw trump first, let's say they led a heart, you took your ace of hearts, you led a spade, said, let's get the kids off the street. I guarantee you're going to lose a heart and the 2 diamonds, you're going to be down 1. What's important to note about this hand is you've got to do the loser on the winner first, or else you're going to get set. Okay. A couple of things just kind of summarize for you. The bridge, it's it's like everything else. It's journey, it's not the destination. Okay, so you're going to play lots of different bridge hands. You're going to need to learn to become enjoy being a masochist and a sadist all at the same time. So one of the really great things about bridge is you can never master it. So you're always going to be learning something. Every day that I play bridge, I'll learn something new in every match I play. Okay, if it's just a little bit more insight on how 2 cards fit together and how they relate to each other, that's one of the things that makes it exciting. But what's even better, it's a great social outlet. It gives me an opportunity to go see my friends, spend time with them, and get out of the house. Being retired, it's great to get out and be with your friends. Okay, this particular course is just kind of an introduction to bridge. It's just to whet your appetite and give you enough information to be dangerous. Okay, and it was focused primarily on bidding. Like everybody, when we start playing bridge, we almost focus all of our time exclusively on bidding and not a whole bunch on the other 2 facets of the game, declare play and defense. We did a little bit on declare play. We went through like 5 or 6 different declare play techniques. And we did nothing on defense. Now, when you over time, 50% of the time you're going to be playing defense. 25% of the time you're going to do declare, and the other 25% of the time you're going to be dummy. So once you bid the contract, that's kind of phase 1. Phase 2 is either defeating the opponents because they won they bid the contract, or making the contract. So what I'm going to recommend to you is that Don't spend all your time on bidding. Do some studying, self-study and so forth on declare play and defense, and get comfortable with the things that have been that I've gone through in this particular course. All right, this slide here is kind of is an eye chart. I like it. It's really colorful. Okay, but this is the way that I divide Bridge up into these different blocks, or these what I call these different learning areas. Okay, and one of the things that we've been trying to do is develop what we call a roadmap atlas to learning Bridge. So we went through this is the beginner non-competitive bidding course, and there were 7 lessons in here. And there's a little video up there on YouTube that says what are the 7 lessons and what are they talking about. Now these other areas, building blocks are like basic techniques that really that kind of fit in with respect to all that complement the non-competitive bidding. I think there's 13 or 14 different short videos there that point out different considerations. And then each one of these others are major areas within in the bidding system and in terms of defense and declare play. Okay, and it's a way of organizing the material that gives you a suggested roadmap of what conventions to learn first and how to attack becoming a better bridge player. Okay, and there's over time there are videos there describing each one of the components in each one of these areas. For the majority of these, I'm working on getting the rest of them done. All right, now I wanted to point out that what you're kind of, whether you believe it or not, are more advanced than most bridge players now, because you actually have some structure to the bidding system that you're using, rather than what I call is kitchen bridge or seat of the pants bridge. Okay, so you actually have learned a lot. Okay, now the intermediate player, the goal there is to learn and put in place what's called the play according to the standard American yellow card. And what this is a recommended set of methods and conventions that give the intermediate player the capability to bid and to make most hands. Okay, so and also, while the standard American yellow card focuses on bidding, you have to, in essence, manage yourself in terms of studying defense and declare play. Now, I just put this up. This is is kind of a map, a roadmap for standard American yellow card. Okay, you'll notice that these are color coded. Okay, the ones that are kind of tannish go into into the overcaller roadmap. This one that's dark blue is in the responder roadmap. These are in the one no Trump response system, and these are different aspects of that are areas of refinement on the bidding system that you've already learned. Now, this is competitive bidding here. This is how to better respond to one no Trump. This is refinements in terms of third and fourth seat. And then these are basic components of the standard American bidding system that are more advanced constructs that are really you'll need to learn before you really want to get into other conventions and so forth. And over here is a little bit on preamps and slam bid. Okay, and I just wanted to throw this up to give you a view of where you're going to want to go over time. And like I said, there's the video up on YouTube that describes each one of these roadmaps and the components. And on our website, we give you more information, both in terms of access to the videos and also a short textual description of what each one of these blocks represent. Okay, well, that pretty much concludes today's lesson and the course. So I hope that you have enjoyed the course, and that you've learned a lot, and you're playing bridge, and that you have a great time. So I'm going to go ahead and